Welcome back to another episode of Aussie Tech Heads, episode 341. And today is the 16th of May, 2013. We wish you a very good welcome and how do you do? Tonight we are going to bring you a lot of tech stories that will blow your mind and intrigue the pants off of yourself. So welcome. So it's a good welcome, big welcome to the lounge. Hello, lounge. AussieTechHeads.com.au/live. What else have we got going on here? The lounge, as I say every week, and they're always there. They always come in at 7:30, roundabouts, watch us muck around for about half an hour before the show starts, and have some fun, have some drinks, and relax, and whatever else you want to do down there. Aussie Tech is also brought to you by hosting, AussieTechHeads.com.au/hosting, and which we can provide you professional, affordable, Australian fast servers. That's right, Australian fast service. So get onto the AussieTechHeads.com.au/hosting and have a burl. Go for your life. What else we got? We're now streaming live. Will has told me he has sorted the radio live stream out. So if you're out in the car, you want to listen to the audio live, you can through a shoutcast or through any other way that you can, AussieTechRadio.com, or just search your shoutcast app for Aussie Tech Heads. And you can get that live. And speaking of the radio, after the live show, there is the round robin of tech shows that we've put together. And there's also some other ones. Garth does his little blind tech, which is quite interesting. And also there's a guy I know, Des, who does LinkedIn. He's a big LinkedIn dude, and he talks about different aspects of LinkedIn. He does short little bursts, but they're very interesting. Very interesting. All right. What are we going to do? We're going to say hello to Shane and Will. Hello, Shane and Will. How you doing?
Howdy.
Hello, Glenn and Will.
Hello.
And people.
Now, Will is the invisible man again tonight. For those on the video, there is no video for Will because his camera's broken or something. He's still having issues. He's got an SSD.
Not like you're missing much anyway.
No, we've got a nice little picture of your little round, fuzzy, still face. So we'll put that up.
That's how I look. It's like there's no difference. That's actually live footage.
That's right. You're very still.
It's that Botox, isn't it, Will?
Now, look, there was a bit happening this week, and especially happened today, the Google I/O conference. And look, I'm not too sure. Will's been quite busy today. It fell on the wrong day for us to get our teeth right wrapped around it. But we could have a guest coming on later in the show to tell us about what he knows about it. But look, I'll save my comments for then. Otherwise, we'll just mention it and I'll give you my comments then. But it was. I watched a bit of the thing, and I'll let you know how I went. Tonight we're just you got stories, a review from Garth, and yeah. So Shane, what's been going on in your neck of the woods? You're back for another week, and everything going all right with you?
Busy, yeah, busy. On call again, and that's why I was a little bit late tonight. I got a call just as I came home kind of early because we've got like an off-site thing in one of the suburbs where all our tapes are kept. I thought I'll go there late this afternoon so that way I can come straight home and not have to go back to work. So I got home early, but then work kind of found me anyway.
They have a habit of doing that, don't they? Finding people and all that sort of stuff. All right, and Will, what have you been? You've been working hard. I rang you today saying, Will, you got yourself across the IO and you're going, I'm working.
Yeah, it's really weird actually. The last 2 weeks have been pretty much dead, and then yesterday and today have absolutely been flat out, of course. So I got no prep work done. I did manage to go and get myself my. I got a new solid state hard drive.
Oh, good.
It's the Corsair Force GS SATA 3, so it's 128 gig solid state drive.
Oh, I thought you only got the 64 gig. You got a bigger one.
Well, they had a sale on 64 gig drives for $49 or something. So I ordered it, and they told me they didn't have any in stock, so they refunded my money. And then they sent me a purchase order confirmation for this drive for the same price. So I went, yes, okay, I'll take that. And I went in and picked it up today, and they said, I know you've already paid for that. That's fine. See you later. Okay, then. So
nice.
Not only did I get a $150 drive for $49, I didn't even have to pay for it.
Nice. That's good. Yeah, those solid state drives, they come down in price. I think I bought mine 128. I thought I only paid 94. So that was good. It was good. They're cheap as.
Well, this is the brand new one. This one's just come out, so that's why it's a bit dearer. There was a 128 gig for like $90, but this one was a little bit quicker and stuff. So it's like, oh well, might as well for the extra few bucks. Not that I paid for it anyway. But
Now, can someone do me a favour, either Will or Shane, or in the lounge out there? I've got this little device here we're going to talk about later on as well, because it's from our friends at USB on the Go. But I want to show you this little device. I want someone to. It's a little Belkin car charger. Can you see that? Woo.
Yes, it is. I was actually going to talk about those tonight.
Yeah, I just wanted someone to just look up a price for me. JB Hi-Fi or Apple, because I think Apple sell the same ones. I just want someone to look up a price if they can. All right, now let's get started with... are we going to start with that, or is there anything else we've got to do before we start? I don't know. I think we're just about there, aren't we? All right, well, we'll start, and I've got some more things to talk about, but we'll talk about later. And we just before we do get into the stories and everything, we do have Jason online. He's just popped in. Hey, Jace, how you doing?
Oh, hi. How's it going?
Good, thank you. Now, did you see much of the I/O conference today?
I was following it through Twitter and online website, so I was keeping up to date with what's going on and some cool things happening.
All right. Well, we might as well do that first, I think, because that was a bit of topical information or topical news for today. And
sure.
Yeah. So, what did you get out of it? What was the main thrust? Do you think, or what was the
bringing a lot of things together and making things easier for mobile and desktop use, particularly with Google products.
Because I know I watched it, just had it on in the background there, and I think I watched the version with Tom, with the TNT crew, rebroadcasting or whatever. I found it quite enthralling. Actually,
It was, yeah.
I was getting all excited, even though I've got an iPhone. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I don't anymore. I sold mine on eBay the other night. So.
Yeah. Okay. So I thought it was really, really good. I just thought it was great. People came out one after the other. Talked about their maps. Talked about their tablets and their phones and Android, Chrome, and blah blah blah. It seemed to be something happening in every area of Google's existence.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they took the instead of making their own Google Nexus phone, they took the S4 and they're just going to put their own version of Android on there without all the extra stuff that Samsung whacks on top of it. So that's going to be their plain phone without all the extra UI bits and the waving like a Jedi at your phone to make something happen and things like that.
Right. Yeah, and some of the voice recognition stuff that they got going was quite cool as well.
Yeah, that's going to be in Google Search. You can talk to your computer and just say, "Okay, Google, search for," whatever you want to find, and away it goes.
Yeah, and so
it talks back to you.
Yes, yeah. So not as Jay said, it's not only just confined to the phone. It is, if you're into the Google Chrome and you're logged in, well, it just follows you around from device to device to device to PC to device.
That's right.
To
yeah,
Mac
they're
to device.
They're doing a game center like Apple's Game Center, but what they're going to have is cloud save. So if you've got a couple of devices, like you've got a phone that's got Android on it and you've got a tablet, you can start playing a game on the phone on the train way home, and when you get home you've got a bigger tablet screen, you can sit there and start up the game and you continue from exactly where you left off. And I would expect they'll bring that to Chrome as well, because there's a lot of talk how a lot of the functionality between the gaming is going to be brought into the Chrome desktop gaming as well, so that sounds very exciting.
That's going to keep you little developers busy, isn't it?
Sure.
Yeah. Yes, Shane.
Some of my stories kind of touched on some of the convergence technologies and all that kind of stuff as well, but I'm not 100% sure whether it's going to be one of those things where America gets it and then like a year later the rest of the world gets it, or is it going to be a one hit everybody, or do you know?
I think some things are going to come out in the US first, but most of the stuff I've seen is supposed to be rolling out to other places eventually, like the new Google Music. They've got a thing called Access All Areas or something like that, and what it'll mean is you can do like a Spotify type music radio station of or whatever favorite tunes you want for $9.99 a month, and that'll take on that in also audio, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, now that's not available in Australia as yet. I think that's just
No, it'll
launching.
be rolling out. Yep.
Yeah, and but that's I don't know. I think they're obviously it's double the price of the Pandora, but they're obviously betting or banking on the fact that it's, you're going to want to live in the Google ecosystem like wholly and solely. There's everything there for you to do. And
That's right.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's continuity advantages with the Google Access All areas that aren't there in the Pandora. But at the moment, like, I'm loving Pandora. It's great. That's what I listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love that.
I listen to Spotify on the desktop. That's fully free. So I got all my stuff there and I listen to that. When I'm not on the desktop, I'm usually listening to podcasts, so I don't really need a mobile version. I had it for a while, for probably about 4 or 5 months. I was occasionally listening to Spotify on the mobile device, but then I thought, most of the time I'm listening to podcasts when I'm mobile, so when I'm at home I'll listen to it while I'm programming or playing Minecraft or something.
Yeah, now I'm just trying to bring up my Google page just to show everyone, but for some reason it doesn't want to come up. But I know my Google Hangout has changed. Not the Hangout. Well, the Hangout has changed. The UI has
Google
changed.
Plus.
Yeah, the Google Plus, though, has changed as well.
Yeah. It's 3 columns right across your screen, so you don't have just the mini 1 column down the middle and a lot of space around it.
Yeah,
so it's not too
bad. It looks, as I was saying to Will just before the show, I love it. I think I can spend more time there now because I never really went there because it was just...
And you don't have to keep scrolling like you had to before, which was annoying to me.
Yes, and I think that's what detracted me from it as well. But yeah, I think that the layout now is more, I don't know, magazine, bloggy style, and it's a lot easier.
Yeah, I think that's what they were going for, yeah.
Yeah, a lot easier
and
to
the other
read.
Thing we were talking about with the game services, it's going to have leaderboards and achievements, in-game rewards and multiplayer services like Apple's had. And I've been saying for a while they really needed to do something like that because people love being able to challenge other people.
Yeah, that's right. And look, there was heaps of stuff there to get your mind around and your eyes onto. When you can start talking to Chrome, when you see there's a microphone comes up somewhere on in your Google.com. So when you see a little microphone, you're right to go there. Now, the other interesting thing, which was unconventional, was it Larry Page came out and answered questions.
Yeah, I think he was the one who lost his voice for a while, wasn't he?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I think...
he said that he's had paralysed vocal cords or something for a few months and he just couldn't say much. And apparently he's had that since he was young and it comes and goes. So, but he said that he thought that he would keep that private for a while because he thought that was important, but it turned out that a lot of people really needed to know. And so he finally came out now, maybe a bit too late, but at least it's out there and people know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was watching it, I just sat down thinking, "What's up with this guy?" He's just talking. He's just going, "Oh, thank you all for coming," and and all like this. I'm thinking, well, "What's up with him? Is this the creator of Google or whatever? What's going on?" And then
there's a guy who's reminded me of like doing a Stephen Wright type talk. He's like, "Yes, and I'm very excited about what we're bringing to you. The technology is wonderful, and technology should, just get out of the way and let people get things done that they want to do."
Because I thought
I had a dog. I had a dog named Spot, and I spilled some spot remover on him, and now I can't find him anymore.
Now he's molded into the blackness. Now I think Shane he actually had that story about Larry Page and his vocal cords. Was there anything else to that story, Shane?
The story that I found basically said that when he was young, he had like a cold or the flu or something, and one of the vocal cords got paralysed then. And the doctors assured him at the time, no, you're not. The other one won't go out. It's very rare that happens. And apparently, this episode also followed another bad cold or flu, and the doctors were wrong.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, that story just answered one of my questions. I was going to say, how old is he? And he's 40. He's 40 years old. The co-creator of Google. He's younger than me. He's got 2 or 3 private jets. He's rolling in it. How good is that? How good is that? All right.
Yeah. But money can't fix everything by the looks of it.
No, well, I'm obviously not. I wonder if you can get vocal cord transplants. Maybe that's
Yeah.
why he's. That's maybe why
Well,
he's.
Steve jumped the queue for his liver, didn't he? He went to another area where you could pay money to get ahead of the queue and get your transplant done. When they'd said, "No, sorry, you're on the list. You have to wait." He said, "No, here's some money. Chuck me to the top."
From the helicopter pilot. Oh, was that
Yeah.
someone else? I don't know.
Not sure. Other things, Google Maps is going to have live traffic, although it's a bit like Waze that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. So if you're driving along, it'll alert you if there's an accident or something up ahead that's got a problem, or maybe some road work or something, so you can reroute around that automatically.
I mean, they kind of have something like that in now. It's not quite that advanced, but
Yep.
on your daily trip monitor, it will do that.
And they join together your Gmail Drive space and the Google Drive and their Picasa, which is now Google Plus Photos, all together to give you 15 gigs for free. And it comes with, they're going to allow you to upload, I think it's full-size photos up to 8 megapixels.
Wow.
So they're trying to take on Flickr and stuff there. And you also have built-in auto enhance to make photos look better, like red eye reduction, skin softening, noise reduction, picture sharpening, and stuff is going to be built into it. So
Well, they've
not too bad.
Look, I just got the impression. I just loved it. I don't like these keynotes and these things too much, but yeah, I got excited about it. I just thought, they've thrown down the gauntlet, and I think Apple might have caught it in its back. So
Yeah, well, this is what I was saying to people. I think I picked the right time to jump ship, but Apple have been lacking in a while. They haven't brought out anything that's like, wow, that's amazing. I really need to see that. I need it. My
Yeah, that's
iDevice is so awesome because it's got this functionality, but now I've got the HTC One. I'm not looking back. I've got all my widgets there with everything on the front page that I can see what's on my calendar and stuff. On the lock screen, you can see things, and everything auto updates. That Google Now I was talking about before is now going to have reminders built into it, which is quite funny because yesterday I was spending a lot of time trying to find a really good reminder app on the Google Play Store, but that's going to be built into Google Now as well, so you can stick the Google Now widget on the front screen, and your reminders will come up as well. So that's going to be separate from the calendar. So,
because even
Is Google Now available now?
yeah, anyone who's got Jelly Bean can have it straight away. I've had it on mine ever since it started, and it's
So-
just you can
you
just
can
stick a
have Jelly
widget on
Bean,
there,
okay.
or on mine. On mine, you can hold down the home button for a couple of seconds, and it'll automatically go to Google Now, and you can sort through your cards there, add on your favorite sports teams, whatever. But that's their Google Maps. Also, I don't know in Australia, but it's going to include cards for transit schedules, so
Yes.
buses and trains and that sort of thing. So
well, if it's not here, it'll
Okay.
filter around the world, I'm sure.
fantastic.
So, because I know you were talking about that Google Now app, I think the other week.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I downloaded it because I was excited, so I downloaded it on the iPhone. But I can't get nothing out of it. All I can get out of it is weather and the
Yeah.
stock. That's all I can get.
Yeah, it's a bit limited on the iPhone. That's why it's really great for Google people, because you've got this widget you can stick on there. If I'm at the office and it gets to about 4:30, it says, oh, it's going to take you about an hour drive home through traffic. Or if there's a bit of traffic problem on the M2 motorway or the M5 or something, it'll say there's a lot of traffic on the M5 due to an accident, so it's going to take you an hour and a half to get home.
Yeah.
So it's handy to know if you're like, oh, I need to be home by 11 o'clock because the babysitter is knocking off then, or you've got something on TV, or you've got to get up early in the morning. It'll tell you, well, you better start going now if you really want to get home by 11 o'clock, because it's going to take you an hour and a half due to a traffic problem.
Yeah,
and
that-
I haven't even asked it to say that. It knows where I live, it knows where I work, and tells me how
wild.
long it's going to take to get to either.
Oh, it's wild. And one of the demos that I think, I'm not sure what section it was in. It must have been in the maps, was it? I can't remember. A lady came out and was demoing everything, and she was talking to it, and she's going, oh, what is it there to do in San Francisco or something? And it goes, oh, you can go to Jimmy Bob's bar or Disneyland or something. So she goes, oh yeah, show me the roller coaster at Disneyland, and then she goes, how long would it take me to drive from here to there? And it knew what he was, where he was, and it knew where there was. Of course,
Yeah, and I saw they also had something like what did this building look like in the 1940s? And it'll say, oh, okay, here's a photo of what it used to look like a long time ago.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
absolutely wild. It's wild. But Will, did you, as another Google fan, did you have anything to add with that?
Yeah, as I said, I'm sort of just reading on it now, but I went to the YouTube site, the YouTube channel, to watch the edited and abridged version, and it's 4 hours.
Oh, jeez.
That's why I like the one. Like I watched the one from The Verge. Here's a summary in 3.5 minutes of the important things that happened, because they had a lot of stuff that is going to be specifically interesting to developers, which I won't go into on this show because there's a lot of APIs and things behind the scene that programmers are going to love. But these are the things that ordinary people are going to see on their phone happen and that they're going to be interested in.
Yeah, it was.
I have another question.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've just realised that my device is ice cream sandwich, and it's an old device.
Rude.
Apparently, you can, if you do a bit of haxing around, you can get Google now onto an ice cream sandwich, but you'll have to look up how to do that.
Okay.
It's
What
not
device?
officially, it's not officially out for ice cream sandwich, but you can hack around to get it jammed on there somehow.
What device is it?
It's the first Asus transformer thing.
There's probably a CyanogenMod mod or something which will have the latest version on it anyway.
Oh, okay.
Now, look, just moving off that then, if we're all done with that, so I've got another Google story, is the Google tells Microsoft to shut down its YouTube app for Windows.
Yeah, they are not happy, Jen.
They aren't happy, are they? So what's happening here? Google on Wednesday demanded that Microsoft pull its YouTube app for the Windows Phone from the market and disable any downloaded copies of the app, according to Wired.com. So they've received a copy of Google's cease and desist letter. So Microsoft's got a big cease and desist. That's a change, isn't it? That's
a bit of a turn up.
A bit of a turn up for the books. Microsoft has until May 22nd to comply. Now, you might be wondering, what has happened? Why is this so? What's going on?
What is going on?
That's exactly what is going on. Well, Microsoft rewrote their YouTube app, which apparently violates the real YouTube service terms in two ways. It strips out the ads and in the videos and lets users download content from the video site. Users can.
How could they?
Oh, I know. How dare they? Users can download the Microsoft app from the Windows Phone App Store. Huh? Yeah. So download YouTube videos. Who cares? You can do that anyway. But disabling the ads, yes, it's good, but I can see why they're upset. I can see why.
Yeah, I mean, it's not difficult, and Microsoft is known for this. But basically, they say, look, this is a free, here you have access to our backend. Do whatever you want with it. There's 3 conditions you have to follow. And Microsoft broke 2 of them. So,
Microsoft released their own response to that later today, saying, "Well, we'll do what you want us to do. Just tell us and please let us stay on. We'll be good." So maybe it'll happen
pretty
yet.
much.
Maybe it'll happen yet.
Did you see that? What's his name? Paul. Who does Windows Weekly? Paul.
Thurrott.
See him going off on Twitter. How dare Google do something like this to Microsoft? Microsoft's never done anything wrong to them.
They're so sweet and innocent, butter wouldn't melt in their mouth.
Well, apparently, so this is a statement from, who's this a statement from? Google. It's in the letter. These features, and this is why Google's objected, these features directly harm our content creators and clearly violate our terms of service. We request that you immediately withdraw the application from the Windows Phone Store and disable existing downloads of the application by Wednesday, 22nd of May. Just today, during his presentation, Larry Page decreed Microsoft for milking off of Google's innovations. So, and you can see he gave the example. I don't know. Did anyone grab that story about the Outlook and Google merging together?
Yes.
I'm sure there was
I was
a
reading
story.
that yesterday.
Yeah. Well, apparently, was that one of yours, Shane?
Yep.
Yeah.
Microsoft Google form a rare alliance.
Yes. Well,
Do you want me to go into it?
not just yet, because I was going to say, well, that story, or even though that story is headed up Microsoft Google Firmware Alliance, I don't think there is an alliance. I think that's incorrect for whoever wrote that story, because Larry Page today, when he was on stage with his little vocal cords there, he said that he was disappointed that Google opened up their APIs to let Microsoft drag Google's information out, but Microsoft wouldn't open up Outlook to let Google do the reverse. So it wasn't a share alike. It was just a gimme from Microsoft. But yeah, you
All a bunch of bitchy little girls.
Oh, that's right. You got to have something to complain about, haven't they?
He won't let me do it. Well, they won't let me do that. So
Yeah. So yeah. Well, I suppose like if you're going to have probably in Microsoft defense, if you're going to let the APIs go out, well, this is what happens, isn't it? Like you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to go both ways. If you're going to put
I found an article about Microsoft responding about YouTube too. We'd be more than happy to include advertising, but you need to provide us access to the necessary APIs.
Yeah, you mean that open public one that anybody can use? That one.
So I think
that's what a lot of people don't realise too. A lot of people saying, "Oh, it's just Google revenue raising." It's not. I mean, it is to a point. Google does make some money from the ads, but whenever an ad is shown on a partnered page or video, the partner makes money from that ad. So if suddenly, let's say, I don't know how many smartphones are out there that's running the Microsoft thing, but just say there's 1 million. Well, every time one of those people goes, and watches a video, let's say it's something really interesting and 500,000 people go and watch that video, well, there's 500,000 impressions that, they're not getting paid for. So it hurts the content creators as well. And I mean, okay, yeah, it probably hurts Google. Well, it probably affects Google. It's not going to hurt Google, but it definitely would hurt the content creators.
Yeah, sure, they've got a lot of money, but people are uploading months and months worth of video footage every few minutes to YouTube servers, and they have to just keep on expanding it. You could say, okay, we'll take all the revenue out and we'll limit everybody's account, and you can use YouTube
Go back to the way it used to be, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sorry, Shane, for stealing your story there, but I don't think there's too much more to that story, was there? Did you have anything? Did you get anything else out of that?
No, it's fine.
All right, you can have one of mine. I'll share alike. Oh yeah, I'm not Microsoft. I wish I was. All right. Now I think what we might do now is, did anyone find out how much one of those little car chargers were?
Yeah, I was actually looking, and the reason I had it bookmarked is because I was actually going to talk about these tonight. Basically, before I talk about price, what they basically are is, and you've got one there, Glenn, you can hold up and show people on the stream, but basically there's nothing special. They're a cigarette lighter adapter to allow you to plug USB cable into your phone. Now, it works on everything from mobile phones to iPads and Apple phones and Android phones. But the difference is a lot of the cheap ones, and people don't realise this, a lot of the cheap ones that people get, if you read the output on that, I think it should say 5 volt 1 amp or something like that on the output of it.
It does, Will. It does. 5 volt 1 amp.
Yeah,
correct.
And basically, the reason is that a lot of the new devices, the newer phones, the iPads, things like that, require a higher output. Most of the cheap cigarette lighter sockets that you get when you buy from China and places like that, they're the standard 500 milliamp output. So more often than not, you'll plug it in, and it'll give enough current to say the device is charging, but it won't actually do anything. If you're really lucky, it'll just stop it from going any flatter. It won't really charge it. But with these devices here, and this is actually a Belkin one. This is from USB on the go. It is, it's high output, so it's designed specifically to charge the high-use devices. Now, having a look around, Harvey Norman, JB Hi-Fi, most of those are all sort of similar prices. They have the Belkin micro car charger, which is what that product is, and most of them are selling for around $20.
Yeah, and I think if you go into the Apple store, I think they'll even sell you a Belkin for about $40. Would that be right?
Yeah, because it'll come from Apple, so it'll have half its warranty. So, yeah. Now, if you go to usbonthego.com.au and you have a look through there, they do have bundles and packs like that. But if you specifically after one of these, if you already have a USB cable that attaches to your device, then you're equipped to use this. For the sake of spending $5, $4.95.
Yeah, that's all. That's how much they are. $4.95.
Yeah, $4.95. You can buy four. Four for the
Yes.
same price. So you can have, you can give them to your mates. So when you go around to borrow their car for the weekend, you can still charge your phone.
That's what I've done on mine. I've got there's a lot of you go to eBay and it's got car charging cable for your iPhone, and you're like, I don't need one. You just need one of these little things. Put it in your cigarette lighter, and you can plug anything into it. You don't need a specific one for each device. That's a iPad car charger and the iPhone car charger and an Android car charger. It's all one USB out, and the cables you already got work fine in it. And then you just get one of those multi-port cigarette lighter expanders, and you can plug in all your devices into the one socket.
But it's a top little device. I've got one in my car, and obviously when you using it when you use your phone for GPSing, you need one in the car. You absolutely need one in the car.
Yeah.
And actually, the other unintended use of these, and I only discovered it the other day, is they've now released USB powered or USB cigarette lighters, and they're an electric cigarette lighter. And they're an electric cigarette lighter that uses a little element to light, and they charge via USB. Now, if it I only know because a mate of mine bought one the other day, and he tried to charge it in his car, and it didn't actually work. But you put it into one of these because it's a higher amperage, and it will actually charge it. So there you go. And don't forget too, everything ordered off USB on the go is also free postage.
So wrap your laugh and give around one of those. Now,
Yeah, well, you
don't eat
managed
it,
to.
All right.
I actually just went to JB
for
and had a
internal
look, and it
use.
was
If following occurs,
$19.95.
please see the doctor as soon as possible.
It was $19.95, but it's also $5 postage on JB Hi-Fi. So it's actually $25 from JB.
So look, it is a great little thing. So go and have a look at that. And now usbonthego.com.au, we thank them for their support of the show. And they've also, I'll tell you what we'll do. Well, if you want one of these, righto, we'll say, I don't know, say something on our Facebook page. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads. And what do you want them to do, Will? Anything special? Or Shane, can you think of anything? Just write up why you want one. Why you want one. Tell us that.
And how much you love us, and share our page out to everyone.
That's
I was
right.
going to say,
25 words or less.
Spam your mates.
there might be a few entries, so we'll give it to the most creative entry.
Yeah, and send us your mailing list. Okay.
Yeah. And $25.
Yeah. So,
Creativeness will be at the discretion of the presenters of the show.
that's right. All right. So that's yeah. So thank you to usbonthego.com.au. Go and have a look at them. Like their Facebook page as well. They're around there somewhere as well. All right. Let's move on. Now, what did you have, Shane? Because I know I've sucked up most of your
I got
stories.
nothing left.
Oh, haven't you? Sorry about that.
That's it. You can go now. You're released from your sentence.
Thank
Well,
you.
no,
Come
no.
again.
Well, you can go through my stories and you can pick one out of there, okay? If you like. But
No, I've actually got one that's not tech related, but it was in kind of the tech kind of things anyway. And I mean, for those rich people that have got an extra $50,000 kind of laying around,
yeah, right.
they can potentially buy an old Air Force One plane.
I was surprised.
Apparently, yeah.
I was surprised it's only $50,000. I thought it would have been more than that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
all the kind of people that because I'm a bit of a plane spotter, and my boss is a heavy plane spotter, and I mean this is obviously it's a DC-9 that they're flogging, and it's obviously painted up and everything in the right colours, but from our recollection, the president's only ever flown in a 747 or a 707, and the article claims that presidents right up to Clinton and Bush actually used this particular plane, but I beg to disagree.
Yeah, okay. So you're a little
Unless
spotter.
it was just like local town hopping.
No, they use the helicopter for that.
True.
Oh, well, there you go.
Maybe, family flew in it. Like, the president kind of was on official business flying around in the big jet, and the rest of the family went on a holiday or something, and they took this thing.
Yeah. Skiing trip.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, if I had an extra $50,000, I'd buy it.
Yeah,
That's the decoy. That's what it is. It's if you look at closely, that's the one that's full of bullet holes.
They're speed holes. Haven't you seen them?
No, that only applies to cars, not aeroplanes.
Okay.
Now, this Tuesday was last Tuesday was Microsoft Patch Tuesday. You would have got some little doozies of little patches down. What can go quickly through them. There was a vulnerability patch for Internet Explorer 8. One of 10 fixes at the soft that was released as part of its monthly security update. The other critical patches introduced by Microsoft last week was MS13037. Geez, they give them all little names, all numbers and everything, which addresses 11 additional vulnerabilities in IE. Geez, that's bug-ridden in it, or it's vulnerability-ridden.
That's why you should never use it ever under any circumstance, except to download Chrome.
But they must all be, like, why do we just all pick on IE,
because it sucks.
Oh, that's all right.
They have their black hat. They have the black hat convention every year, and IE is always cracked in under 30 seconds every year.
Well, why is it that they can't do better then?
Because Microsoft owns it.
Okay, none of the bugs were
Their
public.
own fault for trying to become dominant by default. Serves them right.
Well, they won't use more secure technologies in the same way that Safari and Chrome and that use
They
their
sandbox
back end.
everything on the good ones so that nothing can interfere with anything else. But Microsoft's just like, we can't be bothered. We need to be there and first and everything. So,
And what I don't get
pretty
about
much.
that IE, and they've still got that compatibility button. What the hell is that for? What?
That turns it back down to IE5 for government websites.
Really?
what happens is because the old IEs were not compliant with the rest of the standards for the web,
Yeah.
and Microsoft were making their own standards. People made a lot of websites so that they would work with the Microsoft one because that's what most people had. Now that they've become standard compliant, a lot more with IE 9 and 10 should be as well. They had to put a compatibility button to break the good IE 9 and 10 so that it'll show the old websites that are complete crap because people had to make it to work the old way. So they're basically
Unless you made it
making
in, unless you save time and make your web page in front page.
yeah.
The
So,
only,
yeah, it's basically making the new browser, which is the same as all the others now, work the old way just for those stupid sites that people made that would work with IE.
well, every time a site doesn't load up for me, I do push that button. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
It's still broken.
Half
Oh,
the time
dear.
it suggests you please try this button. It might make it work.
Microsoft
So,
also
yeah, that's-
tapped MS13039 as a high priority bulletin. Well, good on them. It addresses a single vulnerability in the HTTP protocol stack known as http.sys, a core Windows component. Ooh. The remaining 7 patches addresses flaws in the .NET framework and link Publisher, Word, Visio, Windows Essentials, and the kernel mode drivers. Oh, not the kernel mode drivers. No way.
Colonel Mode reporting for duty, sir.
Oh, don't you be vulnerable today. Now, speaking of Microsoft Service Pro is coming to Australia. It's going to be here May 30, so not too long to wait for that. Have a guess how much? We probably already know. It's
Too
$9.99.
bloody much.
Yeah, it's expensive, isn't it? $9.99.
$10, that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
But
I'd pay $9.99 for that.
move the
Yeah.
decimal point.
I can
Almost-
use it for a paperweight.
Yeah, they almost pay that, you know.
And you hacks it and put Android on
Use
it.
it as a portable picture frame or something.
That's what the WebOS ones from HP were used as. You just hack it and put Android on there, and it's a nice device then.
Oh, you could use it as
Yeah,
use it as a lap warmer. But look, I reckon that'd be. I reckon. Look, I'd like one. I'm not going to pay $1,000 for it, but geez, I'm not going to say. I wouldn't say no to it if it was a little bit less, maybe.
If
But
you give me one free, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Microsoft, threw us 20 or 30 to test, then, we'd probably use them. But
Yeah,
They'd be the best thing I ever used then.
Yeah, exactly.
It's bloody awesome, especially for the price.
So they're starting at $9.99. That's the entry level. Comes with the 64 gig of flash memory. A more expensive version coming with $1,099 with 128 gig. Powering the Surface Pros and Intel Core i5, and will be on sale at the Microsoft Store. Woohoo! And Harvey Norman and JB. I don't know why we have to keep
We've
mentioning.
got a couple of nice smarter cover things for those. Like Apple's got the smart cover that if you close the cover, it turns off your iPad. With the Microsoft ones, you can get the touch cover and the smart cover that lets you use a keyboard. So it's got a touch keyboard built into the cover, so you flip it open and prop it up, and then you can type on the cover, and it comes up on the screen like having a little Bluetooth keyboard there built into it.
Yeah, I bought a cover for my iPad, and now I'll have to admit straight up that it wasn't a true Apple one. It was a rip-off one, I guess. But I turned that auto on off because I put it in my bag, whatever. All I could hear was just going click, 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 click,
Click,
like
click.
off on, off on, off on, off on. So I don't know if the proper if the proper Apple ones do any better than that. I hope they do.
I did see something recently. I think it was some kid had discovered that the magnets, I think it was in the iPads for the cover, can actually affect pacemakers. So.
Oh, okay. And I think this might be hopefully the last one on Microsoft. 8.1, Windows 8.1 has been announced. It will be available later this year for free. That's that Windows Blue we were talking about last week.
As a free upgrade.
Yes.
Yes.
A preview version of Windows 8.1 will be made available at the start of the Microsoft's annual developer conference on June 26th, with a finished product update released later this year. So put your
is that basically
milk bottles
a
out.
service pack, or is it a new release?
It's
or?
sort of a service pack. It's got updates, and it's supposed to bring back the start button, which is missing from 8. But it won't pop up a start menu like Windows 7, etc. do. It'll switch to the Metro interface, so you can see all the tiles and stuff on there.
Is that all it's going to do? What's the point?
It's like
people
Windows.
said, I want to have a start button. I can't operate this thing without a start button. So
It's only taken them 9 months to design it.
Yeah, but I don't. If they're going to go to the trouble,
It's like when you It's when you upgraded
I
from
can't
Windows
believe it.
95 to Windows Plus.
The only answer you need to know it's because it's from Microsoft.
Yeah,
That's the answer that
exactly.
makes it logical
no,
now.
I won't believe it till I see it. I cannot believe it's quicker to hit
I mean,
the
there
key.
are-
It's quicker to hit the
There are a
start
few
key.
updates and there are a few other updates and bits and pieces, but primarily it was pretty much all graphical design changes.
Oh, this whole start button business gets on my goat. I don't
Well,
need
if
a
they
start
just
button. I'm
get
over
rid
it.
of- If they just kept it, there wouldn't be a problem.
But you don't need it. You don't really
Well, you
need it.
do, because how else do you get to your programs?
Well, you push the start button.
You start button on your keyboard instead of the one on the
Yeah.
screen.
But why isn't it already there, and then I don't have to worry about it?
The thing is, there's a lot of people who are more mouse oriented, so they'll use their
Well, that's what I
mouse
was
for
gonna
clicking on
say.
everything, but not use the keyboard so much. And then there are people
Well,
who
like
are
if I'm
use the
sitting
keyboard
here eating a giant foot-long sub, and I've only got my mouse hand free, how am I supposed to click on the start button if I've got to press a button?
With
I
your
mean,
nose.
come on.
With your nose.
Well, it's a touch screen, isn't it? So you can headbutt it, sure.
Are you telling me you've never pushed a key with your nose? You had your hands
No,
dirty?
I cannot say that I've never done that.
Yeah, I couldn't say I've never done it, but I wouldn't say that I have done it. I've used other body parts too, whatever you need at the time, I guess.
Oh,
You won't go there.
no, I won't go there. No, it's just out of the
In
shower.
that
Where you
elbow,
will, eh?
Elbow.
Oh.
I was thinking toes, but
Oh, toes come in handy. Now,
Ankle.
they do.
look, we've got
Especially when your
Garth.
hands are busy.
We've got Garth here again this week. He's come back. He's got another little review for us. It's going to be a good one too. I don't know which one it is actually, but he's come in. We've done all this Google talk and Chrome and Android. Well, we got to even it out a bit, haven't we? So Garth's come in. He's going to do his little don't know. I didn't name it properly, but we're going to find out what he does anyway. So hopefully all this comes out because I don't know. I never tested it. Here we go. Hello, it's Glenn and Garth here once again. And can I say, just before we start this little OIS review, that a couple of weeks ago we heard about Pandora. I've loaded it up. I love it. So jump on Pandora. It's great. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back through the episodes and have a look. Now,
and we're going to do an iOS review today, not a OIS one, but you know.
An iOS?
Yeah, rather than OIS, which is what we were talking about a minute ago.
I'm
sorry,
iOS. I just watched an episode of $6 Million Man. Okay, so that's OSI. That's
OSI, that's maybe what you said too. Anyway, tonight,
what do we got?
Today, whatever it is,
yes.
It's going to be LD.
Oh, LD.
I know, right?
Sweet.
You might laugh at me, but how else would I know that LD has, what was it? Bloody caravan extensions.
I know. They got a lot of good stuff, eh?
They've got some odd, but you've got to check it out. Freaking awesome stuff. Weird. It's all weird.
Yeah.
But
that's good.
No, it's handy. Like we've got one of these stickers on our mailbox saying no junk mail, so we don't get all the flyers and crap because I can't stand that crap.
Oh, I do know. Just as a side note.
Yeah.
We do get the junk mail.
Do you?
And I'll tell you seriously, every week, which I'm disgusted actually. I might put one of those signs up.
Yeah.
But every week, it must be 5 centimeters thick.
I know. There's a small tree in my letterbox every week if I don't have that
crazy.
sticker on there. I can't stand it.
Anyway.
So here we go. There's still a portion of me, obviously, that kind of wants that junk mail because I hate it, but there's still a portion. There, right on my phone, I've got the LD app. And you can go and see the whole heaps of crap and where your nearest store is and yada, yada, yada. But the important part is you can see what's coming up. You can see what weird and wonderful thing you're going to have this Wednesday or Saturday.
Yeah, right.
It's every Wednesday and every Saturday.
Yep.
They have a new bunch of stuff.
That's right, yes.
And aluminium roll top table. I wouldn't have known that had I not the LD app on my phone.
But do you care?
Not really, no.
No, but
that's not the point.
No, there are.
Sometimes there's a 52-inch TV for $25. Well, not quite. Maybe I'm exaggerating slightly.
They got Ultrabooks, $650.
Ultrabooks. Well, sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Oh, tell you. So this
exactly. This is the thing. There's
it's a free application. Yeah, free application. Audi keep you updated on the move. Specials menu. A quick overview of special buys on the scheduled days. Shopping list allows you to save an item to a mobile shopping list.
Yep. Get a little push notification probably or two, I imagine.
A store locator, which is handy.
Yep.
And the highest quality at I don't know about that, but the highest quality at the lowest prices.
You know what I like about Aldi is they don't have too many choices. You walk in and if you want, you want whatever it is you want, there's only one type there. So that's the type you're getting. You don't have to go and go, well, do I want that one for $6.52 for 35 ounces, or do I want that one for $7.83 at, I don't know. There's not too much choice.
Yep.
Which is kind of a good thing because it's all pretty good. All the stuff is reasonable.
Oh, look, we do
shopping down there.
I think Kim shops a bit at Audi there. That's not bad. It's not bad.
No,
you put your $2 in the shopping cart and you collect it on your way back, or you have a key ring token.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I've got a key ring token. You buy them for $2.
Yeah.
And then you put them on your key ring or whatever, and then you just...
You don't have to worry about having a $2 coin with you all the time.
Exactly.
You could just stick a $2 coin in.
Exactly.
All right, fair enough.
So that's not too bad. So
no, it's good.
They got some good stuff like that Ultrabook. It didn't look too bad,
It probably was fine too. We've bought I bought a DVD player. That was dodgy as all get out. I had to take that one back, but I took it back, got my money back, and
well, that's the thing.
It's fine.
So that's all right. Yeah, I think look, they've had Android tablets for probably.
A friend of mine got one of those and loves it.
Yeah, right.
I
Good.
think it was nothing. They just about gave it away in a box of cornflakes.
Yeah, it was like $60, $70 or something.
$60, $70, yeah.
Something like that. And I know there was the lines up everywhere, and you couldn't get them. But interestingly enough, because I think someone I knew went over to get one, and they said, "Oh, we'll ring you. We've run out, but we'll ring you when we get another batch in."
BS, really?
Yeah, I just went, "Oh yeah, good story."
Good on you.
Yeah, but
that's going to happen.
But they did. They rang this person.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was crazy.
He's a pretty keen store manager. That one, good on him.
Yeah,
More
I
power
know.
to
Good
the
on
dude.
him. Yeah, but look, the Audi stores aren't too bad, and that app probably makes it even more interesting because they do have weird and wonderful stuff.
That's the thing. That is really the thing for me. It's just you got to see what that weird and wonderful stuff's going to be.
That's right. It's like the J car pamphlet, isn't it?
Yeah.
You
So
know,
I don't know
like,
what the hell the J car pamphlet is, but I'll take your word on it.
It's an electronic store, J car.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
watch advertising, man. I really do not see any ads on TV.
No, but there's
And
it's
we don't get
an
junk
electronics store. Remember the old Dick Smith stores?
Yeah,
You used to be
yeah.
able to buy the circuit boards and all that sort of
Oh,
stuff. You had to
okay.
plug
yeah,
everything.
Yep.
Well, J-Cars all your
stuff?
components and you buy stuff and componentries
okay,
and
yep. Cool.
jazz. Yeah, and they're
I'll
little.
stick my head back in the closet now.
Yeah, okay. All right, so that's the Audi app.
Aldi
Good on
app.
you, Garth.
Go out, grab the Aldi app, give it a go.
Good stuff. We'll see you next time.
See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
Hey, how's that Audi app going? Pretty good, eh? All right.
I just want to bag him out for not knowing what J-Car was.
Come on.
Yeah, where's he living? Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that actually, I think, is the last in the current series of iOS reviews. So I'll have to catch up with Garth and we'll get Series 3 underway pretty soon. What are we going to do? Oh, look, we missed out on Shane's This Week in Tech History, didn't we, at the start of the show? We were busy doing too many other things. So I reckon
we did.
we go and have a look
And
at...
because you stole all my stories, I'm going to read every one.
Revenge is sweet.
All three of them.
But I've got the mute button.
Including punctuation. Full stop. Capital A.
All right. Go, Shane. What do you got for us this week?
All right, so I'm just going to start to the top, not because I am actually going to read everyone, but just the top one's a good one. May 9, 1893, Thomas Alva Edison demonstrated the kinectoscope for the first time in Brooklyn Institute of Arts and Sciences. I'm sure we had that one a couple of months ago. But anyway.
Which one are we doing?
Skipping a couple, trying to find another.
Sorry, but my
over
computer's
going.
frozen.
Yeah.
My
I was
computer
going to say
froze.
it's interesting. I'm reading. I just downloaded. It's only just come out. Nikola Tesla's autobiography, and the man was either completely insane or a completely insane genius. One of the two. But I'll tell you what, it's fascinating.
Yeah, right. Good story. Good on you.
No, I just reminded because he hated Thomas Edison. Because
Oh, okay.
yeah, he did.
Oh, right. Yeah, so what about May 13, 1939? And the only reason I picked this one out is
Okay.
because of the name. Franklin, was it? Fran?
What are you doing to me?
What?
Frolden Doolittle.
Now, the only reason I picked that one out, I want to know, are there still people in the world called Doolittle? Seriously? Is there
Yeah,
still
Doctor.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Names generally hang around.
Doolittle
Yeah, people at work think that I work very hard, but I often do little.
on the... No, we won't go
That's
there.
not a name.
Oh, sorry. Maybe it's my nickname.
AP. Oh, geez, that was a big opening there, but I think we'll leave that one out. All right.
So do you want me to read this or what?
Yes, please. Sorry, Shane.
Friendland Doolittle put an experimental station W1 XPW on the air, making it the first commercial FM radio station in the United States. The station later became WDRC FM in Bloomfield, Connecticut.
Good.
And one underneath it, the trademark Velcro was registered protecting the name of the multi-purpose material that manages cables everywhere and ties shoes and all that kind of stuff.
Sticks people
And
to
there
walls.
was one about Mark Zuckerberg somewhere.
According to his profile, according to his Facebook profile, Mark Zuckerberg was born in Dobbs Ferry on May 14, 1984.
Yes.
He would grow
Dobbs
up.
And-
Ferry.
He
Dobbs.
grew up to run Facebook.
That's right. And on May 14, 1973, the US launched Skylab, the first space station as part of the Apollo space program. Skylab, wasn't that in
Was that
James Bond?
73?
Apparently. Unless
Wow.
Shane's got his dates wrong. No,
That's just-
No, I got mine from Tom. Tom's never wrong.
no, that's right, Will. That's right. Sorry.
yeah, no, I'm not doubting it. I just didn't. I thought it was later than that. I didn't realise it was that early.
Wasn't there a Skylab in
Yeah.
James Bond? One of the movies?
If you say so, sure.
Yeah,
Why
okay.
not?
I think there was, but I don't think it was the same one somehow.
Oh, no.
I got a part
Well,
of
it could have been.
Skylab,
They're
actually.
probably both your studios, so
What was that, Shane?
we'll let the hate
So-
mail commence.
I've got a part of Skylab, or my wife's got a part of Skylab because it crashed over WA.
Oh, that's right. That's right. In about
Yeah.
78.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So, how did you get a part of that? Tell me that. Tell me that's an intriguing little story.
Well, like I said, it's my wife's, and I believe that her dad is a painter, and he was painting some mining kind of donga thingies up in Newman,
Dongers.
and yeah, and that's
Painting a donga.
that's where part of it came down.
The
Yeah,
manimal.
like they're called dongas.
Yeah, they only not in Queensland. They're called demountables here.
Oh,
They're demountable if they're attached to a school, but if they're on a mine site,
they're
they're a
demountables.
donga.
Stop
Well, no,
calling
you-
them donga, and people think you're talking about a.
Yeah, you could
Right,
be in a
bingo.
bit of trouble if you're painting your donga.
painting it black. All right. I
Might
did
need to go
Listen,
see the doctor.
I didn't paint it. It's always been that colour.
Remember.
I've never heard of that. Demantable donga. I've never heard that I didn't know they were one and the same thing.
Yeah, they're called dongas on mining sites.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go.
I don't know why, because apparently demountable's too big of a word, I think.
Probably. That's probably why I didn't know what he was talking about.
Like how those Queenslanders spell beer with XXXX because they can't spell it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're not allowed to write shit on the bottle.
I'm going back to me donga. All right, get out of my donga.
My donga's got a front door and a back door.
All right.
Hell, what you done?
All right. Okay. So thanks for your story about dongas. Now, let's move
Thanks
on
for
then.
sharing your donga, Shane.
Let's move on.
No worries, the bill's in the mail.
Federal government slammed, again, for blocking websites. Blocking of 1,200 websites by the ASIC has set off calls for tighter controls on the federal government. So, yeah. So,
Well,
yes.
it goes a bit deeper than that too. Ever since the plan to put through a national filter sort of got rejected officially, but with the way this was done, ASIC basically said we want this website banned, and somebody flipped the wrong switch and took down 1,200 websites, which effectively proves that even though we're not being filtered, we're being filtered. So there is a firewall, there is a national firewall within Australia, and within the flip of a switch, they can shut down internet access to any website.
Well, Stephen Conroy revealed yesterday that the financial regulator ordered ISPs to block websites that appeared fraudulent, according to a report by a Delimiter. The order resulted in blocking of the Melbourne Free University website and other legal websites. The Pirate Party lead Senate candidate for New South Wales, Brendan Malloy, has submitted a Freedom of Information Act request seeking documents relating to the blocking request by ASIC. Malloy slammed ASIC for not being transparent about its reasons, and surely, this is a quote from Malloy, surely if the block was legitimate, they could get a court order and publish the reason behind the blocking. Well, it's fair enough, isn't it?
Now, they used a law that was written, they used a telephony law.
Yep.
That was, it's Section 313 of the Telecommunications Act in 1997, which requires telcos to help officers and authorities of the Commonwealth and of the states and territories in matters of enforcing the criminal laws and laws imposing, a big word, penalties. Now, the problem is that there are a lot of safeguards in place, and some of which are to do with national security, and none of the procedures were followed. The reason the law was implemented originally was to prevent things like terrorists making a phone call to trigger a bomb remotely over a phone line. So they wanted that, I can see you. They wanted that to
Well, I'm just
basically
providing a visual for those because you can't be bothered getting a camera.
Yes, I know, because I can't figure out how to use a webcam. Because basically they wanted to have the ability to shut down a phone line instantly in case of an emergency or things like that, or they wanted to reroute a particular landline to talk to a hostage or something like that. The problem is it was not designed to say, hey, I want to just stop that website from existing. That's not what it was there for, but unfortunately, that's what it's being used for.
Yes.
So there's a big uproar at the moment saying, well, hang on, we just voted saying we don't want a national, firewall. So why do we have a national firewall?
Exactly. Now, Woolworths launches grocery collection at Melbourne Airport. Yeah.
So when you got 4 or 6 bags that you're trying to lug home with you, you can chuck your groceries on top of them, or
Exactly.
I guess the idea is if you lose your baggage and your bags go to like Kraplakistan, then you can just like ring up Woolworths and get a few things delivered, so you got stuff to get home.
Customers can order their groceries online or through the Woolworths app and collect them at the end of their flight. Our customers are increasingly embracing online and mobile platforms as a convenient and hassle-free way to shop. Head of Online Business Development at Woolworths, Kate Langford, has said in a statement, good on you, Katie. But, it probably comes up probably all right when you're maybe on the plane. I didn't know not all of them have Wi-Fi, but you're on the plane, you go, oh, yeah, wouldn't mind some Tic Tacs when I land. So, yeah, go and grab some.
Yeah, that'd be, you get a pack of Tic Tacs and a nice coffee delivered, and it costs you $25 for delivery.
And some Tim Tams.
And it's still cheaper than airline food.
Yeah, it's better.
What about a baked chook, or what do you call it, barbecued chook? That'd be all right. Now, government,
barbecue chook and a loaf of bread. You set.
The government, government funds, iView live streaming pilot. The funding is intended to help maintain. Well, the government have given $30 million, I think it was, to the ABC to help with the iView live streaming pilot that they're going to roll out. The funding will better equip the ABC.
Mainly for bandwidth costs and stuff like that, I'd imagine.
Oh, okay. We'll just see the funding will better equip the ABC to provide the mobile and online content that audiences are demanding in ever-increasing numbers. The ABC said an Android iView app is in development, and that was October last year. I don't think it's appeared yet. And however, the iView app, so maybe the 30 million can go and make one of those. Jace, you available
by
for
in
an
development,
Android
they
app?
mean that they thought of the original name, and that took most of their funding.
So the iView app is on the iOS is one of the 10 most popular iOS apps in Australia. There you go.
No,
Really?
Yeah, apparently, that's what it
It
says
beats
here.
out 9 other fart apps. Interesting.
everybody wanted to watch Doctor Who because they did that test earlier in the year where Doctor Who came out on iView the night before it came out on TV free to air.
Yeah. I think that didn't go too bad. It got a few hits.
They would have
didn't
got a lot of downloads there.
You can't download from the iView though, can you?
No, you stream it.
I'll tell you,
You can download, you're just not supposed to.
Oh.
It's like YouTube. You can't
okay.
download from YouTube.
No, but
Unless
you
you
can if
can.
you can.
Yeah.
If you want to. Yeah, I've been
But,
watching.
I mean,
I've been watching some catch up on Channel 9 and stuff, and I don't know. They need to increase their bandwidth. Their catch up quality's pox. Sort it out. All right. Yeah. Sorry, Will.
I was going to say that you're not supposed to be able to download customer data containing names, addresses, and phone numbers either, but apparently Telstra lets you.
Damn it! I just brought up that article. Okay.
Now, I'd
For
be
the
interested.
second time-
Yeah. Sorry. You tell the story. Then I've got something to say. Go.
I was going to say, for the second time, Telstra has managed to allow their database to be infiltrated. After last time, they wrote that this is not acceptable under any circumstances for this to happen and will not happen again. So
Cross
this
our hearts
time,
and hope to die.
their quote was, "It's not acceptable under any circumstances for this to happen."
Yeah,
They dropped the bit about it not happening again.
it'll never happen again until next time.
The only upside is it was older stuff from 2007, but it was a database that contained names, addresses, phone numbers of customers. So
Yeah, it was on a Google Docs page that one of their third parties had put up to keep track of some information, and he accidentally made it public, I think.
Because I remember, was it a couple of weeks ago, we did a story about the breaching of privacy and the new laws that were coming in. And I'm not sure when they were in. I meant to go back and look at that story. But there was they were going to be tough, like real tough, like huge fines and all this sort of stuff, like really, really tough, to the point, and I'm sure you remember the story, where even though, so Telstra might have their database, of their Australian customers, but if their hosting provider, wherever that may be, I think now it's in Singapore, or it doesn't matter where it is, if you're hosted your stuff overseas and the data is leaked by a security breach or whatever from a third party where your data is, you're still liable. So
Yeah.
I wonder if Telstra's going to get a kick up the backside, and whether that, what's going on there.
One would hope.
Charge them at least $5. Come on.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's what it would be like. Any fine to Telstra would be like that. It's like watching the horse racing controversy in the news lately. It's like this multi-billionaire was charged $15,000 for being very naughty. It's like, he found that down the back of his couch, 15 grand.
Yeah,
He's
that's
a
right.
Multi-billionaire.
yeah.
That'll
just like
show
one
them
of the-
they'll never do that ever again, will they?
I love one of the quotes in here too, where it says, "As soon as we found out about this, we immediately convened a team to have access to the data removed.
We had a meeting.
Why
I had
wouldn't
a
you?
team to remove a Google Doc."
Apple, Pascal, and Enigma. 350 years of technology on sale. So how do you like those? Let me see if I can get some pictures of some of these for you. If my computer holds up, it's been a bit wonky tonight. It looks like
At
it's
least your
wonky.
camera works.
Yeah, well, this is true. Hang on, here
My
we go.
camera works. Windows just doesn't know what to do with it. My camera's fine.
There we go. There's the computer now. What are we saying here? Most obsolete Apple products are worthless and confined to the back of a drawer, but not this. The Apple One, built by Steve Wozniak in his parents' garage some 37 years ago, is up for auction later this month, plus a lot of other stuff in Germany at Auction Team Brecker. So
It's got what's written on it.
you want,
That's his signature. That means it's real.
Yeah.
so if
So yeah, I mean that's the days of the old breadboarding. Oh, that's the thing that sits behind security now, dude.
oh yeah,
Steve Gibson.
It's Gibson, yeah, that's what he's got behind him.
what's that one then?
That's the Enigma machine
Oh,
they used during World War II to defeat the Allied. The Germans had that. They couldn't.
I was going to say, is it the
couldn't crack
German
it
Enigma
till
or
they-
is it the Allied Enigma?
No, it should be I think German one, because the Allies had to find one before they could break the messages, and they happened to just come across one in a broken down submarine, or one that they blew up, I think, and killed everyone on board. And then they were like, "Oh, what's this? Enigma machine? Oh, so this is how they encode it. Cool. Let's break everything now." Don't tell them.
Oh, look at that old typewriter. Goes back a bit.
It even says spacebar, in case you're not sure.
Yeah, nice.
What's our first?
That's where Han Solo hangs out.
Oh, yeah.
Which Apple's that? Altair. No, that's the one that's behind Steve Gibson.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
okay.
the
The
one.
Yeah.
Altairs. Yeah.
That's what Bill Gates and them first programmed Microsoft Basic for.
And still do, I think.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I think they still write Windows in the same
Only
way.
Altair.
Now, I'm sure that just excited the hell out of the audio listeners. So, wake up.
Oh, beautiful photos, mate. You should have seen it. You don't know what you're missing.
Yeah, that'll teach you not be watching the live stream, won't it?
That's right. Now, I've got
Or
one
the
more.
YouTube video.
I've got one more story here before we go. Jace, did you have anything else that you wanted to bring up tonight?
No, there's only one quick thing that I thought was interesting, is that the Galaxy S4 phone, a lot of people know that it doesn't have very much free space on it when it was released, so Samsung are going to try and fix that up by tightening it up. If you bought the 16 gig model, you only got 8 gig of actual free space, so they're going to see if they can free that up a bit. They've actually said, yeah, that is a problem. We were just denying it before, but now we agree.
Well, let's hope
Well,
they
they
can.
only agree because the British watchdog got on their case and said, "Hey, hang on, this is false advertising. You're saying it's got 16 gig and it's only got 8. What's the deal?"
Yeah, it's the same as the Microsoft Surface. You buy the 32 gig model and you get about 16, maybe not even 16, 14 gigs worth of space. They go, it's the same if you buy a hard drive that's 20 gigs and you put Windows on it, it'll take up 14 gigs of that. So
Yeah.
technically, it's a 20
No,
gig
but
hard drive, but you only get that. So people understand that, so they'll understand it for the Surface. But the point is, if you buy an Apple or an Android tablet and it says 32 gigs, that's 32 gigs free, not 32 gig drive, which we've filled up half of it with our operating system.
That's it. I mean,
Very good.
my Note 2's got a 16 gig storage, so it's got, an 8 gig drive or whatever it is, but it's got 16 gig storage in it.
All right, thanks for that, Jace. Shane, did you have anything else before you head off into the yonder?
No. Done the stories, done some of me history. No, I'm good.
You good? Any comments? you like?
No good ones.
Okay, good. Will? Will you?
Yeah, I've got a few quick ones. Last week we were talking about the 3D, the plans that have been released for the 3D, the Liberator gun that you could print on the plastic printers.
Yes.
Now, over 100,000 downloads have been taken. The plans have been downloaded over 100,000 times. A few hours ago, the US government decided that it was dangerous for people to have access to that, so they blocked the website.
What website?
The website that you could download it from.
But they asked him to cease, and he ceased. But but there was still 100
days ago.
But
and they had it on, Kim.com had it on Mega for a while, but then he said, I don't want it on there, but I bet you can find it on torrent. So once something is out, been put on the internet once, it's always there. It's like what they call the Streisand effect after Barbara Streisand, who somebody posted a picture of her house from, I think it was Google Street View or Google Satellite, and she demanded that be taken off the internet, so everyone downloaded a copy of it and uploaded it to every image website in existence, plus a bunch of others. And said, this is what happens when something's on the internet. You can't stop it, so it's the same thing.
You can't.
Yeah, basically it goes on to say that the defense distributor were asked to take down the plans, which they did, but you could still access them. You just go to Google Cache and you could still access the plan through there. So the Department of Defense actually blacklisted their website, their DNS. So their entire website's been blacklisted effectively.
Yeah, right.
But if you want it, just go to according to this article, Pirate Bay still has it, so you can go there.
We don't want it. We don't want nothing
We
to do
do.
with
It's only
it.
a
Everybody
small caliber
wants it.
gun, though, isn't it?
Who cares? It's dangerous.
Got a metal firing pin too.
22?
You can't print those.
Yeah, it's
You can
dangerous.
if you've got a metal printer.
Yeah!
Don't go
I've got a
anywhere. Don't
carbon
go
printer.
looking for
Apply
it.
some heat.
I want the money printer.
Don't go looking for it. It's rubbish.
I think money printers are actually slightly more illegal.
They also tried the Obi-Wan Kenobi effect. These are not the plans you were looking for. Didn't work either.
That's pretty
You
much
guys
it.
get that ad on TV? It's a brekkie ad where they use that trick where the guy's sitting in the aeroplane in the good seat and this TV or movie star comes along.
Crunchy nut.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Just Right or whatever it is.
Will, keep going. Not on that story, though.
Don't stop. Wiggle, wiggle.
Whoops, wrong button.
Woo.
Yeah, so that's that one. There's also, if you've been having computer problems, you can blame solar flares quite legitimately.
Oh, Will.
The last 2 weeks, this weekend, May 12th and 14th in particular, 8 blasts were observed over a 24-hour period between 3.2, X3.2 to X1.2. X3.2 was the largest one that's been recorded this year. Basically, there's just a heap of ion particles heading towards us, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, it can cause problems with electrical devices and interference and things like that. And the guys on the space station are going to have a nice radiation shower, so that should be enjoyable for them.
Well, that's going to help their air
I think that
conditioners
guy
out.
from the space station doing the Major Tom during the week.
Yeah.
What was he
Doesn't
doing?
make
Hey,
He's saying ground control to Major Tom, and he sang the whole song while he's out in space, and they had the floating out. Every time they had something to do with the song, it's like Earth is very blue, and there's nothing we can do, and they showed a shot of out from inside the space station of the Earth being blue and all that
Nice.
sort of stuff.
It
So
was a
really
good singer,
popular.
too.
Yeah, apparently his voice was really brilliant.
Oh, good.
No, I didn't see that one, but the
They
others.
had, we're just floating here in space, and they have this guitar that goes floating past him because there's no gravity and stuff like that.
The other, on that though, the International Space Station, it has a leaking radiator. Basically, they have radiators full of ammonia that keep the instruments cool and keep the power station cool and everything like that. Apparently, they noticed the ammonia leaking from it the other day, and it's not a big problem. They can bypass it. There's backup systems, but I like the last line of the article where it says the space station always has enough emergency escape ships for the crew. Now, it's one thing you never hear about when you hear about the space station. You never hear about evacuation pods or anything like that. So,
No, they must have them.
I just quite like that article.
They're better equipped than the Titanic. Then they actually got enough.
That's it. Yeah, more than just one life raft.
Yeah.
I always thought they had to rely on the space shuttle or the Russian thing if anything went wrong.
I would imagine there'd be pods that would just like jettison them out, and they probably would still have to get picked up. You'd think. I don't know. I have no idea. I didn't even know they had them. So there you go.
Maybe Shane just
I've
goes
got
around collecting
another
them.
space story before we move on.
Yeah.
I'm only
spit it
going off
out.
memory here, but it was I think it's the Kepler, what do you call it? Telescope. Apparently that's spinning out of control at the moment. They've lost, not the gyroscopes, but there's kind of like the gyroscopes that kind of keep it focused on whatever planet it's looking at. Well, it's all gone kaputski. And the article that I
That's 'cause
remember
it's Russian,
reading...
see?
Yeah, no, it's an American thing. The article I remember saying is, there's not, they're not saying that it's hurtling towards Earth or anything like that. They just haven't been able to get control of it. It has lost altitude, but nothing to worry about, kind of thing.
Send your wife out; she'll grab it. Now, anyway, any more, Will?
Yeah, just quickly. I've been using eTax on my, computer forever, but they haven't really been available on Mac too much. But they've been available on PC since 1999. But yeah, the Mac version has been officially tested. So there you go. They've officially tested the new eTax for Mac. Given that the development started in 2007, should be another 10 or 12 years. You should be able to use it.
Seems to go like that, doesn't it?
It's only taken them 6 years so far. So we'll see what happens. And also one thing quickly, Samsung has announces the new 5G, so the 5th generation, for your, how we use 3G and 4G now. Well, they've just finished testing their 5G network. Their 5G network will allow, basically will allow more than 1 gigabit per second data.
That's all right.
Which is, several hundred times faster than 4G.
Yeah.
It may come out after 2020, and it's not a standard, so maybe nobody else will adopt it and it'll die.
Well, yeah, but 4G wasn't a standard either when it came out. Neither was 3G. So everybody was 2.5G. Some were 2G. Some were 2.5G. Then they went to 3G, and some of them were 3.5G, and then some went HSDPA. So they're all over the show. But who knows? But it just goes to show you that the speed that is possible to be transmitted is pretty awesome, really.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
I think they were saying one of the bonuses of this technology, besides the speed from the 5G, is the capacity, whereas with the 4G and 3G that you have now, you might get full signal, but because there's too many people connected, it just can't connect and send out any more signal. But with the 5G, they managed to get past that. So even if there's a huge number of people in the city at the time on the tower, you'll still be able to pump out enough speed for everybody instead of just a lot of people getting nothing.
Yeah, because it uses frequency modulation, so it's not fixed to a particular frequency. Like it's not 900 megahertz or it's not 1.2 gigahertz. It's able to fluctuate frequency depending on traffic and what it needs. Although I thought you were going to say one advantage of it is that nobody in the city ever needs a heater ever again. The radiation.
Get your tinfoil hats on, kids. It's going to fry your brains.
They're gone. All right. Will, is that it?
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do.
All right. Now you can get all the show notes and more, possibly, at the AussieTechHackers.com.au website, and look for the show notes. There's also, as your keen little eyes might have picked up on the webpage of late, I've put there's a little menu item called Tidbits, and under there's a deals. And look, if you're a bit of a graphic designer or web page creator, look, there's a few hunk of good deals going on around the place, and they're all there. And there's also probably the latest deal is just a little banner right down the bottom. But have a look at those, because I've bought a few things, normally about $40 or whatever, and then you can get them for $9, and lots of like backgrounds and all that sort of stuff. Go and have a look at it. But go and have a look at that one. It's good. Now I've got my last story for the night. Now, this happened probably earlier this month, but it's something that I've only just come across, and I've always wondered, it's been probably about time that this has happened, but News Corp, there's no more 20th Century Fox. It's now changed. They finally changed it to the 21st Century Fox. You guys hear that?
Only took,
I know. Yeah.
13 years.
And that's the new logo. Pretty boring, if you ask me. But
Lucky they spent all their... they spent all their budget on coming up with a new name. They didn't have anything left for graphic design.
Well, that's
They
right.
should have asked Futurama. They already did 30th Century Fox as a joke at their start of their show.
Oh, so they should have
Well,
asked.
didn't...
Save them money.
What's the other 20th Century Pictures or whatever it was? Didn't they change to 21st Century like 5 years before?
Yeah. Everyone's going simple and flat, so that's like, the Windows Metro design, and apparently iOS 7 is going to be flat graphics and stuff, so this is like simple, basic, flat design.
If you took the words
Tell
away
you what,
from
though,
that...
actually, I don't mind it. You imagine that on a 30-foot billboard somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to stand out, really, because
Somebody got paid $75,000 to design that.
Yeah.
At least.
If I saw that...
You know,
If I saw that up on a building or something, I think Batman was coming.
No.
no, that's his new job.
All right. Now, News Corp has
Or a
revealed
pie chart.
it's a black and white logo for the company.
Oh, you think?
Well, I'm just for the benefit of the people on the audio.
People,
Yes.
hang on.
Thank you, Will. Jace, yes. Today I am proud to unveil the new logo, which serves as a powerful symbol of the inspiration and high bar set by our company. Like our name, the logo reflects the rich creative heritage of 20th Century Fox and signals the promise of the 21st century and our restless drive towards the future. Says,
It looks like a
with
pizza with unfair slice sizes.
If they're that creative, no wonder they're struggling.
That's right. All right. Well, that's it. Geez, we're another long show tonight. I suppose that because we spent too much.
That's Shane's fault. We couldn't shut him up.
I know. we spent a lot
All
of
those
time on
stories
Google.
you came up with are amazing.
Yeah. Well, geez, Glenn had a lot of stories tonight, didn't he? More than normal.
At least one of us was organised. Thanks, Shane. You helped us all out.
Anytime.
So that brings us to the end of the show, and we just want to thank Will and Shane and Jace. So thanks, guys, for coming on and sharing your expertise and your stories and whatever else you shared with us tonight.
No whackers.
What are you, dongles or whatever?
You donga.
Yeah, you donga.
He shared it. Remember, don't forget he shared his donga.
He's donga.
That's right.
And painting it too.
Oh, yeah. Now,
To match the curtains.
that's right. Oh, look out. You'll never... Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
it's the problem when it's Venetians, though.
Yeah.
There goes another family-friendly bloody rating.
You wouldn't want to put those blinds down too fast, I'll tell you. So that's it for the show. Thanks very much. You can catch the show on the live stream, the Shoutcast audio, as we said, and also live on the audio Shoutcast stream, whatever. I said it all at the top of the show about that.
What?
Yeah, we just want to thank shows before we go live. So Tech Thursday, before we go live on Thursday nights, we've got the techwebcast.info up and also the geeksphere.tv before our show. So go and have a look at those two shows independently if you missed them and you think you might want to download them because they're pretty good shows. All right, that's about it. Contact Jace. I haven't written your little contact down, so I can't say it. So what is it, Jace?
Say hi to me on Twitter at Wallop, WAULOK.
Good stuff. And Shane, where can we find you?
At Shane with a Y, 1973.
And Will?
Is that at Mr. Tompkinson at MRTOMKONSON?
And you can find me at Aussie Tech Heads, or I'm starting to use another Twitter because just for me, and and I tweeted out, everyone follow me. I'm over here on this new Twitter just for me personally, and I'm glad to say I've got 0 followers.
Nobody did.
That's right.
That's because I didn't see
I'm
your
going to say,
tweet.
none of you bastards.
That's right. Well, Will wasn't even
Are
following
you
me.
sure you tweeted that out? You sure you just didn't imagine that you tweeted that out? Because I didn't see it.
Might have, but you can
And don't
find.
forget our new Android free app of the day.
Oh, yes. You might have seen on the Facebook, we've been doing the facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads. We've been doing the iOS app of the day. Now, thanks to Jason over there, he is doing the Android app of the day. So, yay! It has
So all those people bitching about where's our Android apps?
I know.
Well, if you didn't already know that most of the Android apps are already free, now you do.
So there you go. Keep your eyes on the Facebook page. Like the Facebook page if you haven't already. And you can contact... I'm on Twitter you can contact me at Glenn Goodman, 2 N's, Glenn Goodman, on Glenn that is. Or you can follow the show at Aussie Tech Heads. You can email all of us. Oh, except Jace, I don't know his email, but us at least at Shane, Will, or Glenn at aussietechheads.com.au. And do you do emails?
We need a guest host at aussietechheads.com.au.
I'm not changing that every week.
Yeah.
Just Twitter.
No, just guest host at.
Yeah, just tweet Jace. And I think that's about it. So that's
Don't
it.
forget our fabulous sponsors, usbonthego.com.au. Go there, get yourself a bargain.
Correct the mundo. All right, until next week. It's hard to say goodbye, but we must. So until then, no nice.
See ya.
Bye.
Au revoir.
All right.